BioBeacon was 2 slots. Multiply already. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's all 1. Okay. Oh, I'm using a. That's because these aren't IntelliJ hotkeys. I am using. Where is it? I'm using IDEA Vim. So if you've heard of Vim, that's text editor from old. From way old. Kind of up there with Emacs. It's basically meant for just manipulating text around, but it was also used to code at the same time. Same way like Notepad would be nowadays for the extreme beginners. And since it's from really old, it's from when there was no mouse. So it's all done with the keyboard. And it's extremely high barrier to entry. I don't know more than the extreme basics, but just the little I do know is actually really helpful. Yeah, I went when I was learning to do the Vim mode, actually, I kind of went sink or swim. I changed everything I was doing over to Vim off the bat. Idea hotkeys, there's only really a few I use. The most important one is Control B, which finds overrides. So if I'm looking here, actually, or it just follows things. So like item stack, what's an item stack? Control B, boom, here's an item stack. Block cyberweave, Femtoblocks, boom, that's exactly where it is. That's the most important one, and it's the one quickest to hit with your fingers too. Control B. Metabolic converter, that one is 2. Sorry if I'm going a bit fast, guys, but this is all the busy work. I just want to get it done. Use middle click. Yeah, see, it helps if you don't actually have to touch the mouse. If I knew the hotkeys go through here better, I could be doing this a lot faster. Probably would already be done. That's the whole point of Vim and Emacs modes in nowadays time, is that, for example, you have to keep moving your hand over. You have to find your place on the keyboard. This needs a name too. Oh, that was almost bad. Okay, so now that we've got this stubbed out, okay, that's all the machines are going to be doing. So that's one half of the boring bit. So I want to do more. Kind of say, okay. Time to work on the next parts of the boring bit. Why is that iron? Okay, whatever. Block, BioBeacon. Tile, BioBeacon. And this is going to yell at us, so we just ignore it. Tile, BioBeacon. Block condensation array. Because what I'm doing here now is, the way Minecraft works is that it uses a really, whoops, I am talking without thinking. It uses kind of a really lightweight representation for blocks, because obviously there's a lot of them. But there's certain blocks that just need to store more information than it's built to. Example, chests. Chests weren't built to were built to store information. Without making it burn down. Well, it's easy to change. So things need to store more information than kind of the lightweight thing. For example, all blocks really are in Minecraft is just one integer, 4 bytes, 32 bits, aka tiny. Reason being is that when you load a chunk is 16 by 16 by 256 set of blocks. So all Minecraft needs to say is, here's 216 by 16 by 256 numbers that in each one in specific order for specific location in that chunk, and that's why blocks have to be really lightweight, because for the most part when you're loading like grass or you're loading dirt, you don't need to know more than the fact that it's grass, it's dirt. There is something called metadata too that gets sent. For example, what type of grass, um, or if it's the top grass block or not. But that's also in a really tiny format. But then you get to something called like the chest, and all of a sudden that's kind of throws a whole wrench in the plans, right? So that's where Minecraft has something called tile entities. And what a tile entity is, instead of being kind of just one in an array, it has to be tracked separately, and it has to know its location, and it's just kind of kept in a list. But the idea is that kind of gives you access to all the unbounded things that you're going to be able to interact with. So anything interesting you see being done in Minecraft or in mods is being done behind tile entities. Oops. So what I need to do here, because all these blocks are going to be interesting, is I need to make all the backing stuff that I need to use to actually be able to use the tile entity. And the way tile entity works is that the block itself knows that it has a tile entity, and so Minecraft knows to look for one, basically. So now I have all the blocks made. So now we're actually going to get right onto what I was just talking about, the tiles. So here's actually, you can see all this interesting stuff happening. So this is where, like, when the player right-clicks it, we open the GUI for them. When the block breaks, we need to make sure that we break the machines above it so that we don't leave extra blocks. There's lots of blocks around. Spawning all the particles, when we put an item stack in, like all this stuff. And then here's our ticking function. So like a game engine works is that what actually happens is that it runs something called a tick event, aka the same idea as a frame rate, except not necessarily tied to it. It's just as often as I'm able to, I'm going to call this function called tick on every single thing that I can. Where each one with the guarantee that each thing gets called tick once before every entity that has tick somewhere is going to get called before something that already has been called gets called again. So aka everything gets one update set. And this happens in Minecraft up to 20 times per second. So this is where all the interesting things happen. This is where your character moves. This is where all the behavior happens. This is where entities move. Basically, like if they move one block every second, this is where if it ticks 20 times a second, they move 1/20th of a block 20 times per second. And it all adds up together to look like they're moving one block a second. This is where inside of a tick is where the entity like looks for people to follow it. Yeah, random tick is for client side. So random tick is just like if you just want to make some cool particles. You don't really need to know that they're going to be every tick. Then it schedules ticks. So it's faster because it'll only tick things that need to be ticked. For example, if my tile only does something every 200 ticks, aka every 10 seconds, this still gets called 999 times, this whole function. It still has to do all these checks. Whereas random tick is because it's a scheduled tick. Minecraft doesn't look for it. The problem with that is that to schedule the tick, you have to have something in memory somewhere to hold the list of things that are going to get ticked. And so it's basically since Minecraft already has a list of all tile entities and like that are loaded, it can easily call tick on those. But since blocks use random tick, if it has to start remembering every single block everywhere again, it gets really ridiculous. But yeah, so it's a trade-off. It's really great when there's a small number of things that tick every so often. Alright, so this one I can't really do a copy paste as easily. So let me are all of these tanks? Metabolic converters a tank. Disintegrators a tank. Did I do a synthesizer? I did not do a synthesizer. Okay, good. Photosynthesis is a tank. Biobeacon is a tank. Spore distributor is not a tank. Nice. Okay, condensation's a tank. Everything but the spore distributor is a tank. Great. All right, so let me just copy this line here. Tile biobeacon. Tankity tank tank tank. Okay, and this is going to yell at me. What do I need to implement? Okay. Yeah, I guess that's what we get for making the main power for cyber liquid. Okay, so that's stubbed. Tile condensation array. Tile cybermat disintegrator. Tile grasping vines. Tile lashing vines. Tile metabolic converter. Tile photosynthesis tower. Tile spore distributor. Okay. So if we go back to here, these should now, yeah, on block break. Why the heck have I not made this base in tile entity base yet? Yeah. Because it's annoying to have this pretty much copied everywhere. That's not what I wanted to hit. Or make a base block for cyber machines. But I'm so lazy, I'm too lazy to refactor at the moment. That's all I've been doing at work. I want to actually make stuff right now. Nope, stop it. Okay. So all these are hooked up. All these are hooked up. I can go find usages. Okay. Var block, biobeacon, block equals. Nice, not a single typo. How is it? It is boring. I had to wait for permissions to get access to all the file systems and their revision source control, and that took literally the first week. And then this last week, I have basically been looking at test cases and moving files around. So I haven't actually done anything. I haven't actually even really done my first commit yet. and that's not going to happen until